I'm sure everyone has heard about Dream's scheduled face reveal in October. But what if I told you that he might be postponing it again? Now I'm not 100% sure about this, but I have found some footage that could be disappointing to some of you. The following clip is not fake and was live streamed a month ago.
I'd say before I was 100% on by the end of the year. That's what I was saying, was 100% by the end of the year. Otherwise, I literally would what'd I say? I said eat my poo or something. I don't even remember. But in terms of exactly when, I don't know. The most likely time frame is the time frame that I gave, but it could happen after that. So
I would be devastated if Dream didn't face reveal by the end of the year, and would actually give up on the idea that I might see his face someday. So what does this really mean? Is this another social media stunt that Dream is pulling up on us again? Is Dream doing this to get a little bit more attention? Well, we can't be certain. All we can do is just hope that Dream is actually gonna face reveal and will not let us down.
let's say you don't go to TwitchCon because George isn't in Florida. Theoretically, would you face for that weekend away? Well, I think there's multiple scenarios where I don't go to TwitchCon. I think that there's the scenario where George isn't in Florida. I think that scenario is actually not okay. I think that there's multiple scenarios. So one, if the face reveal winds up being too close, it's George is gonna arrive in Florida, the day before TwitchCon or something, or the day, whatever he's going to, then I just wouldn't go to TwitchCon because I'd just be or a couple days before or whatever, because I'd be I don't want to. I think honestly I'd probably just delay the face reveal. I'd be all right, it's next week or something. I just do it right after TwitchCon. So I just wouldn't go to TwitchCon, and then it would just be everything would happen after TwitchCon, the meetup and whatever. But maybe they would want to go to TwitchCon. I don't know. TwitchCon's it's kind of annoying in that aspect, because if it ends up being that close, I don't want it stealing the thunder of all our meetup and shit, and I wouldn't want Twitch to get massive promo from that and everything. So realistically, I just wouldn't go to TwitchCon, I guess, even if they went, and then I would just do the face reveal a couple days after TwitchCon and everything. So that's one scenario. So here's the scenarios. One, George is in Florida before well before TwitchCon, I don't know, end of September or very early October, and so there's enough time in between. We meet up, we're able to post everything, etc. Days before TwitchCon. Cool, works out. I go to TwitchCon, because why not? Scenario two, it's really close. He's going to be arriving in Florida right before TwitchCon, the 6th or the 5th or something. Then I probably either none of us go to TwitchCon, and then we would just do it anyway and not care. And we'd face reveal, and I'd face reveal, and we'd do the meetup and shit right then. So that's a scenario. Or if maybe they'd go to TwitchCon, but I wouldn't want to go to TwitchCon because I hadn't face reveal at that point. I don't want to do a face reveal at TwitchCon. And so I guess I probably wouldn't go to TwitchCon, but I wouldn't want to stop them from going. And so then I'd be all right, cool. Maybe they'd go to TwitchCon first, and then they'd fly. That way the meetup and everything happens all at once. That's probably what would happen. Honestly, that kind of sucked, because then George would meet a bunch of people before me. Sad, but I think that's unlikely. But it could happen. If it did, then I guess it would end up being meetup and face reveal would be right after TwitchCon. So it'd be the 11th, 12th, 13th or something. I don't know. I think those are really the only two scenarios. I guess there is a scenario where George isn't in Florida at all by then. In which case I wouldn't go to TwitchCon. So, those are the three scenarios. Either he's in Florida already, and then I go to TwitchCon. He's in Florida too late, and I don't go to TwitchCon. Or he's not in Florida. Or I'm sorry, he's in America too late, and then I don't go to TwitchCon. Or he's just not in America at all, and then I just don't go to TwitchCon. So I think that the most likely scenario is that I go to TwitchCon. So I haven't bought my plane tickets and stuff, so that's how it's not confirmed. But I have actually done other stuff to I have reserved other things, and that's how that's there's enough confidence there that I'm going, that I've done things in preparation for going, and made arrangements for some things, but I also haven't made arrangements for other things. So it's likely I go, but it's not unlikely. that I don't. And it's not only if George isn't in America on time. So I guess there is probably other scenarios where there's just too much shit going on that I just don't go anyway, and we just everything else happens still, like face reveal, meetup, etc., and then I just don't go. But I think that's the least likely scenario because I think I just really want to go. But yeah, I mean, I will say as soon as I know, that I'm, I guess I can't do that. As as soon as I can say for certain publicly whether or not I'm going to TwitchCon, I will. Um, that way, people that are that want to plan to go would be able to. I would do that. Um, and it won't be like, all right, TwitchCon's in a week, I'm going. You'll have some time, no matter what, to know whether or not I'm going. But it won't be a ridiculous amount of time. It's like you won't know within the next like week, or in the next like 10 days. So you might have like maximum like 3-week warning, and then minimum like 10 days or so. So I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to promise anything to anybody, but I also don't want to disappoint anybody. So, but I have, I mean, obviously I got partnered on Twitch, and a big, I talked to them and worked stuff out and everything, and I do like have plans for an arrangement with Twitch for TwitchCon. So I do think that I'm going, but I don't know, and I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want anybody spending money and then I don't go. So um, I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, but I mean, the reason I got partnered on Twitch was primarily for TwitchCon stuff. So obviously, I very much plan on going. I hope I can go, but if it's not a big deal. There's so much cool stuff coming up, so I'm not too like, I'm not gonna, if it's at all an inconvenience for me, then I'm not gonna go, or an inconvenience for George or for Nick or whatever, then I'm not gonna go. But I do want to go, and if it's not an inconvenience, then I'm definitely going. I'm excited to meet everybody and stuff. It'll be fun.